give you my heart.
So today I thought I would share with you guys a simple, well, not necessarily simple, but it's not too hard. It's a relatively easy sweet potato recipe that I customize to fit what I do on a regular day, because these are in high demand in Jamaica. Sweet potato pudding is loved by a lot of Jamaicans, so it is demanded quite often. Please ignore the clutter around. As I'm saying, I'm doing a lot of things here. So I'm going to start my sweet potato pudding. Okay, hey guys. So here we have a very big sweet potato. This weighs approximately 2 pounds, 2 pounds, or a little bit more. It's a very big sweet potato. So we are going to peel this and grate it. I'm going to show you what I use to grate. These big graters make a big difference. If you don't know what a grater is, just wait, you'll see. Hey again. So we're back, and this is a sweet potato peeled. I grooved out all the little notches, you know. Sweet potato is not always smooth, so I have to get rid of all of those little things. So here it is, fully peeled. So you heard me mention a big grater. Here you go. So this is our big grater. So so when I'm finished with this, I'll be back to show you how it looks when it's all grated. Okay. Okay, I'm back again. I do say okay a lot, don't I? Anywho, so all the sweet potato have been grated. As you can see, it's all grated, guys. It's all grated. Alright. This, you'll find, what I tend to notice with sweet potatoes is that each sweet potato has some, most sweet potato have a different texture than the next. Some you'll find that when you grate it, it's a bit more dry, while others you'll find that it's wet when it's grated. It feels almost like mashed potato. Yeah, kind of wet. Yeah, wet. Yeah, like mashed potato. So this one is a bit more wet. So the only thing that you have to be careful with, and I'll show you later on down in the video, well, the next step is that you will have to reduce the amount of coconut milk you'll be placing in this. All right, so at this point I'll be adding a cup of grounded cornmeal, just a cup. And also I'll be adding a cup and a half of all-purpose flour to this. I don't know how other persons do it, but this is how I do it. I find that I can basically control the flavor a bit more. Some persons would add everything into it at once and then stir it up, but I find when I do it the way that I'm doing now, I get a consistent flavor. So I know how it's going to taste before it's finished. Well, I know how it's supposed to taste before it is finished, but all the time, not majority of the time, I realize that I still produce the same flavor that I'm going for when I do it this way. It's safer to do it this way, trust me. So you deal with the dry ingredients first. Similar like when you're baking a cake, you combine your dry ingredients first. before you add your liquid. The only dry ingredient that I won't be putting in this would be my sugar, as I will be combining that with the coconut milk mixture, as I will demonstrate shortly. So here I have measured out flour, and then to this I'm going to add my mixed spice. Okay, the mixed spice that I like to use is the island spice flavor that we have here. Island spice, yes. So this is a combination of like nutmeg, it says pimento, cinnamon, nutmeg, anise, and orange peel. So that is what is in here. Pimento is also known as allspice. So just a teaspoon of this. Just a teaspoon. Because I'll be adding more of this to my coconut mixture. So basically, this is all I'm going to be adding to the sweet potato at this point, because as I said, to ensure that you have a consistent flavor, I'll be spicing my coconut milk mixture before adding it. So I'll be tasting as I go along in order to finalize the taste that I want. So that is a surefire way to ensure that you have a really good tasting sweet potato. So now I'm combining the ingredients that I placed here in the bowl with the sweet potato. So what you're trying to do is basically get it combined completely to almost to a grainy texture. That's what you're going for. You want it to be completely combined. This can be done now, or you can do it later, just before you add your coconut milk. Okay, another thing that I'll be adding is some shredded coconut to this. What I find is that if you're in a rush like me at this point in time, you can buy the pre-shredded coconut. That works just as fine, or you can shred the coconut yourself if you have the fruit. So I'll be adding the pre-shredded coconuts because I do have some on hand. But for the coconut milk mixture, I'll be using my Maggi coconut milk. I find that this coconut milk is really strong. It has a very strong flavor, and I like that about the Maggi. And it also produces that little jelly thing that you like at the top. You know, that jelly thing that develops, well, Jamaicans would know what I'm talking about. There's this little jelly thing that normally happens at the top of our pudding when it's finished baking. It's like the icing for the pudding per se. Yeah, that little jelly, something nice. And that is due to the coconut that you put in there, along with the butter that you'll be putting on top while it's baking. So this is all combined now. I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so this is what I'm talking about. This is what you're looking for. It's all combined. All right, so this is what you're going for. All right, so here I have in a bowl 10 cups of water, and I have my Maggi coconut milk powder here. I'm going to be adding 3 sachets to this. Okay, so here I have the coconut milk. I'm going to stir it out. Guys, I must say, if I had more coconut milk powder with me right now, I would add it, because I would like it to be a bit more thicker. I would love for it to be a bit more thicker. So, but this would give the pudding as it is right now a very nice flavor. But as I said before, coconut milk, trust me, more you add, the more flavor your pudding will have. Do not skimp if you have it. Okay, I'll be now adding 2 cups of brown sugar. Yes, we use brown sugar here in Jamaica a lot. Okay, here we go, guys. It's voiceover time. Yes. So at this point, I'm adding in my salt. It's about 2 teaspoons of salt I had to add in the end because, as I said previously, that I don't have this thing down to a science. I normally just add taste and it normally comes out perfect, you know. So here you see I'm adding another teaspoon. So I initially put it 1 teaspoon. Now I'm adding another teaspoon of salt to this, and then I stirred and then I tasted and found that it was perfect. So yeah, it's not perfect, guys. My measuring is not perfect, but if you taste as you go, you'll find what I'm just giving you a baseline as to where you should head to. Okay, so after this, I'll be adding the mixed spice, and I should add that the mixed spice has most of the spices that you need already. However, I always add more nutmeg. You can't go wrong with nutmeg, trust me. So I'm putting in the mixed spice, and then I'll be grating some fresh nutmeg into the mixture as well. So we're now incorporating all of the mixed spice and the nutmeg and the 4 tablespoons of vanilla. It might sound like a lot, people, but this is just flavoring. Actual vanilla essence would be stronger, so use about a tablespoon. But flavoring, and this brand is not that good, so yeah, that is what we're doing. I know we're getting ready to incorporate it with our hands. Okay, so I've come to the point right now. I'm just ensuring that there is no clumps or lumps happening in the mixture. I have about a cup of mixture. It's about a cup of mixture that I didn't add to this, mainly because, as I said, the water content in the potato itself reduces the amount of liquid I would need to add at the end, because you don't want to add too much liquid because it would take too long to dry out, and also you'll find that you'll create this rim at the top of the pudding where you'll find there's a rim at the top where it was initially poured in. Right here I'm demonstrating how the mixture should look on your hand, so that you have a idea of what you're trying to achieve when you're adding your liquid gradually. So don't let it pass this point. Now we have placed the mixture into a greased Dutch pot, and we have put butter on top, preparing it for it to be baked. I'll be using the coal method, not the oven method, to bake this pudding. Okay guys, here we have the pudding currently being baked on my wood stove, or coal pot as they call it, but I'm using wood right now to bake the pudding. I was out of coal, so I used what I had around the house. I had just gotten some trees trimmed and I had a lot of logs lying around, so I said okay, I'm going to use it to bake, because when you use your typical oven, it takes a longer time, people, to bake in the oven, and it uses a lot of gas. So use the wood or coal if you have it available. It cuts the time in half, because if you use your oven, it can take up to 4 hours sometimes longer, because you don't want to put it on a high heat. So take care, guys. Enjoy. I totally forgot video